Furby was my best friend in the whole world when I was in middle school. That one year I got it as a Christmas present. We didn't have much money to spend on toys, but after I begged a lot every day, I finally got it. I was so happy. Making friends was hard for me as a kid, and that's the only reason I wanted a Furby. I named mine Mimi. I desperately needed a friend, especially at school where all the other kids bullied me a lot. So, I used to sit alone during lunch every day. But ever since Mimi came, a lot of things changed. I would keep it in my school bag so that during lunchtime I could place it on the table and eat with it. Mimi, where are you? Mimi, where are you? I'm worried. Music. Hey, love me. Good morning. Forgive me, Mimi. I know it's dark inside, but if I left you at home, I'd miss you so much. When we came back from Christmas break, a lot of kids brought their new toys to school. I think they liked showing off their new stuff, but not me. Sure, I had a new friend, but my old enemies were still around. Hey, look, she's talking to her toy. Are you crazy? You know it's not real, right? Shut up. Mimi's my friend. You wouldn't understand. Your friend? Wow, you even named it? You must take really good care of it, huh? Yeah, I do. Then you'd be really mad if I did this. Those mean boys who always made fun of me took Mimi away from me and started tossing it back and forth to each other. They just kept laughing, but all I could hear was Mimi crying. Don't touch me, I'm scared, I'm scared. Stop it. You're going to hurt it, please stop. My stupid toy's going to break. I said stop it. To save my only friend, I did what I had to do. They thought I was a coward, but that day I became dangerous. I jumped on that stupid boy and started scratching his face with my nails. Ow! Help me! Save me! If they hadn't pulled me off that boy, I would have clawed his eyes out. His whole face was covered in deep scratches, and he'd probably have scars for life. I hope that's what happened, but sadly, I didn't get to see it. Even though my reaction was justified, I got suspended from school for 10 days. They were even talking about expelling me. But what upset me the most was that my mom took Furby away from me. They said it was causing too many problems and that I couldn't turn my back on everyone and my family just to make a robot my friend. If Mimi treated me better than everyone else, how was that my fault? My mom hid Mimi on top of a big bookshelf in their room and said I could have it back when I started behaving properly. Obviously, I couldn't wait that long to see it. At night, I went into my mom's room, grabbed Mimi, and snuck out. I missed you so much, Mimi. I told you I'd get you back. I love you so much. Mimi, what's wrong? Why aren't you talking? Baby, is that you? Mimi, you can talk. Of course I can talk. I love you, baby. Why did they take you away from me? I don't know. They hate me. So it's true. Nobody loves you. Nobody. But I love you, baby. Are you telling the truth? Absolutely. And I can prove it. Let me help you. Remember, no one can come between us. That's a great idea, but what will we do? Listen carefully, baby. Mimi told me its plan. The most important thing was that every day I had to put Mimi back in the same place where Mom thought it should be. At night, Mimi and I would talk and have tea parties together. Besides that, we had to do one more thing together. Mimi told me what to take out from the cabinet under the sink and what to put in the food at home. We did this every night for a whole week. In the mornings, I had to spend the whole day without Furby, but I'd fight with my parents all day for it. Mimi had explained to me that I had to refuse whatever homemade food my parents gave me, no matter what they did. I had to keep insisting that I wouldn't eat anything until they gave Mimi back to me. And if they still refused, I had to demand chicken nuggets from McDonald's. My parents listened to me for a few days and got me nuggets, but then they said buying food every day was getting too expensive. I was in a really bad state. Living without Furby was so hard, but the homemade food my parents were eating was even worse. With every passing day, they started looking sicker and sicker until their condition got so bad that they couldn't stand up and make me do what they wanted. Finally, one day when they were trying to force feed me in the morning, they collapsed. That's when I told Mimi, Mimi, you were right. The box that said rat poison worked. Now they're sleeping forever. It's just you and me now. Let's play. Finally, Mimi and I were together, and there was no one to separate us anymore. Mimi showed me some food that was safe to eat, and for the next 3 days, we lived the best days of our lives together. The whole house was ours, while Mom and Dad were rotting in the kitchen. Unfortunately, 3 days later, a neighbor knocked on the door and we got caught. The worst part was that after they put me in juvie, I never saw Mimi again. I stayed in foster care until my 18th birthday, which was a month ago. Now I have my own money and I can buy my own Furby. I think I'll call it Mimi too. Music. That's the end of the story. When we were kids, my brother and I had Furbies. Furby, our new robot friend, caught our attention at first because of its big eyes and the way it spoke in its own language. But the Furby craze died down quickly, and it became just another thing sitting on our toy shelf. We even took out its batteries so we could use them for something else and to make sure the toy didn't start talking in the middle of the night. We didn't know that our decision to keep Furby quiet would give us a terrifying shock for the rest of our lives. A few months later, Furby was nothing more than a forgotten childhood hobby or memory. Action heroes, video game posters, and the glow of a nightlight filled our room, which felt like nothing less than paradise. In that cozy room, my brother and I kept many stories and secrets. But one ordinary night, something strange happened. As we were sleeping in our beds, we started hearing whispers. Between my brother and me, it was always about school, our favorite cartoons, or mysterious things. Nothing else. Sometimes there'd be the creak of the floorboards or the hum of the fridge in the distance, along with our soft murmurs. But that night, a different sound broke through. It was a sound that left us stunned and made our blood run cold. Music. Furby, which had been silent until now, started talking. Its voice was robotic and unsettling, sounding like it was filled with joy. It said, "Would you like to play with me?" I was terrified, and so was my brother. The room got colder and the air felt heavy after its voice. The batteries were out, so it had no way to talk or do anything. So how was it making a sound? It asked again, each time making the question sound more terrifying and serious. "Do you want to play?" Finally, my brother broke the silence and said, "Does this remind you of something?" I kept staring at Furby and nodded. I remember, and I remember it well. But how is it doing this? Fear and curiosity were battling inside us, forcing us to get to the bottom of it. We cautiously approached Furby, our hearts pounding. My brother quickly grabbed it and checked it thoroughly. He said, "Maybe it's some kind of glitch." But I could see the fear in his eyes. He didn't believe that himself. As he turned it in his hands, Furby suddenly said another word, this time with urgency in its voice. "Come closer." My brother dropped Furby on the floor like his hands were burning and scrambled away from the creepy toy. We collided into each other in our rush to get away. "This can't be happening," I whispered. "This isn't possible." Terrified, we looked into each other's eyes and decided to figure out what to do. Furby was still there, its eyes staring straight at us. "What do we do now?" my brother asked in a trembling voice. After taking a deep breath, I said, "I'm not sure, but if we throw it out, maybe we can get rid of it." We both lunged at Furby, grabbing it with shaking hands without thinking twice. We rushed out of our room and into the kitchen, where we threw the cursed toy into the trash can. Even though we closed the trash can lid and went to sleep, Furby's voice kept echoing in our ears. We tried to ignore the sounds coming from the kitchen, burrowing under our blankets, sweat beading on our foreheads. Furby was calling us, trying to get our attention. The night felt endless, filled with fear and uncertainty. The trash can made noises every few minutes. Finally, when our bodies gave in to exhaustion, we fell asleep. But when we woke up, Furby was gone. Even after searching the whole house thoroughly, we couldn't find a trace of it. We never saw it again, and we never figured out how it came to life that night. My brother and I still don't know if we really heard it talking or if it was just our imagination. But one thing is true. Even now, remembering it gives us nightmares. Furby asked us to play, and it's not wrong to say that some childhood toys should be forgotten in childhood. Music. Have you ever had a hobby? Mine was collecting Furbies. I picked up this habit from my parents, who were always collecting Furbies. They passed away when I was young, and their collection was all I had left as a memory of them. I decided I would complete their collection. I never thought my little hobby could put my life at risk and force me to see something no one should ever have to see. I still remember those days when I'd spend all day looking for Furbies at garage sales. One day I saw a pink Furby in the window of an antique shop and I immediately went to buy it. The shop's owner was a very strange man, but what antique shop owner isn't strange? Plus, that pink Furby was so beautiful. More beautiful than any Furby I'd ever seen. As I was heading home, I passed by a garage sale, and that's when I saw it. A black Furby on a table. Its eyes were red, its face was in bad shape, and its fur looked deliberately ruined. I'd seen black Furbies before, but never one like this. It looked like it had just crawled out of a kid's nightmare. I got out of my car, picked it up, and took it to the girl sitting nearby. She was a sweet-looking girl. I bought the Furby from her for a really low price. But before I left, she called out from behind, "Hey, take care of Arvin, please." "Oh, it has a name too?" "Yeah, it was my grandma's Furby, but I modified it a bit. It's been with me since I was a kid, but now I'm going to college and I can't take it with me. So it's yours now." "Don't worry, I promise I'll take care of it." I put the Furby in my car and headed home. When I got there, I examined it thoroughly. I knew that girl loved it, but there was something about it that made me feel uneasy, like something was wrong with it. I'd already collected so many Furbies. Maybe it was time to start collecting something else. I put the pink Furby on display with my other Furbies and left the black one on the dining table. Then I went to sleep, thinking I'd figure out where to put it later. When I woke up, it was already night. All the lights were off, so I turned on the lamp by my bed to light up the room. But when I turned it on, there it was. The black Furby, sitting on the table by my bed. How did it get there? I clearly remembered leaving it in the dining room. Panicked, I picked it up and took it back to the dining room. I've always been someone who believes in energies, and there was something weird about that Furby. At first, I thought about throwing it out, but then I remembered what that girl said. She had special memories attached to it, and I didn't think she was a bad person. Maybe I was overthinking it. For the next few hours, I stayed in that room. I ate dinner, watched some TV, but every few minutes my eyes kept drifting back to the Furby. It was still there, in the same spot. A few hours later, I started getting ready for bed. I made sure all the doors were locked and the lights were off. Just as I was about to go to sleep, I got thirsty, so I went to the kitchen to get a glass of water. As I was filling the glass, I heard a sound behind me. Nothing was there. I got scared. I checked the Furby again, and it was still in its place. I thought I was losing my mind. I went back to the kitchen to get a water bottle, and there it was, the Furby sitting right next to the bottle. I looked back at the dining table, but it wasn't there. No, this can't be happening. It was just there a few seconds ago. I turned back to look at the shelf, but it was gone. This has to be a dream. This can't be real. The kitchen lights started flickering, on and off, on and off. Every time the lights went off, I saw a shadow darting around the kitchen, moving from one place to another. I fell to the floor in fear, sweating, unable to understand what was happening. Suddenly, all the shadows stopped moving. No, they were moving, coming toward me. The kitchen utensils were floating in the air. The fridge door was opening and closing, opening and closing. It felt like I was seeing hell itself in the kitchen. Then, all of a sudden, the lights went out and everything went silent. Pause. At that moment, I didn't know what else to do. I grabbed the Furby, threw it out, and ran out of my house as fast as I could. I didn't care that the door was left open. I didn't care that I was in pajamas. Nothing mattered. I just kept running without looking back. I spent the whole night in a small hotel near my house. I didn't want to go back, but I had to. As soon as morning came, I went back home. Before anyone left for work, I reached my house and saw the destruction. My Furby collection was scattered everywhere. All the furniture was broken. Every faucet in the house was leaking. Only one thing was intact: the kitchen table, with the Furby sitting on it staring at me. Gathering my courage, I picked up the Furby, put it in a box and threw it out in front of the same house where the garage sale was. It wasn't my problem anymore. After coming home, I cleaned everything up and rested on my bed. I never saw that Furby again, but I'm scared that it wasn't the last time something strange happened in my house. When I sleep, I still feel it.